The air hung thick and heavy, a humid shroud clinging to Maya's skin. Emerald light filtered through the dense canopy above, casting dancing shadows on the jungle floor. She wiped away the sweat stinging her eyes, adjusting the strap of her backpack as she hacked away at the undergrowth with her machete. "Almost there, Maya," she muttered to herself, her voice barely audible above the cacophony of chirping insects and chattering monkeys. For months, she dreamt of this moment, reaching the lost city of Eldoria, hidden deep within the Amazon rainforest. Legend spoke of a civilization swallowed by the jungle, leaving behind whispers of forgotten magic and untold riches. Finally, through a gap in the emerald tangle, Maya saw it. A colossal stone wall, draped in emerald vines, guarded by the menacing snarl of a jaguar carved in basalt. Even partially obscured, the sheer scale of it stole her breath. This wasn't just a city. It was a testament to an empire's ambition, swallowed whole by the insatiable hunger of the jungle. As she neared the wall, she noticed an inscription carved above the jaguar's head, its elegant script barely discernible. "Beware the serpent's kiss, for it holds the breath of both life and death." Unease pricked at Maya's skin. This wasn't just a warning, it was a curse. Before she could dwell on it, a branch snapped behind her. Whipping around, machete raised, she found herself face to face with a man emerging from the shadows. He was tall, with eyes the color of the rainforest after a storm, a deep, magnetic green that seemed to hold both the promise of rain and the rumble of distant thunder. The man stood his ground, hands raised in a gesture of peace. His shirt, torn and mud-stained, did little to conceal the strength etched into his lean frame. A worn leather satchel hung across his chest, its contents a mystery. "I wouldn't do that if I were you," he said, his voice a low, calming rumble. "Who are you?" Maya demanded, her voice barely a whisper despite her bravado. "A friend," he said, taking a step closer. "Or at least I would like to be. My name is Ronan." Hesitantly, Maya lowered her machete. Ronan's eyes met hers, holding her gaze with an intensity that sent a shiver down her spine. "This city, it's dangerous, Maya," he warned, taking another step closer. "You shouldn't be here alone." "How do you know my name?" she asked, suspicion twisting her gut. "Let's just say this city has a way of revealing secrets," he said, glancing at the towering stone wall. "I'm here to study Eldoria, to learn its secrets," Maya said, a defiant edge returning to her voice. "Just like you, I imagine." Ronan chuckled, a dry, humorless sound. "You assume we share the same ambition. Eldoria doesn't give up its secrets easily, Maya. You may find more than you bargained for." Intrigued and wary in equal measure, Maya found herself drawn to Ronan's quiet confidence. The jungle had a way of stripping away pretense, leaving only raw instinct and steely determination. In Ronan's eyes, she saw a kindred spirit, someone who, like her, craved answers hidden beneath the weight of centuries. "Maybe," she said, her voice steady now, meeting his gaze. "Maybe that's exactly what I'm looking for." Together, Maya and Ronan entered the lost city. The air grew cooler beneath the dense canopy, the silence broken only by the dripping water and the rustle of unseen creatures. Lianas, as thick as a man's torso, snaked around crumbled buildings, and the remnants of grand plazas lay buried beneath a carpet of green. Maya ran her hand over moss-covered carvings, their intricate details eroded by time, but still hinting at the city's former glory. "This place, it's incredible," she whispered, awe softening her voice. "It's a graveyard," Ronan said, his tone grim. "Eldoria's hubris led to its downfall. a cautionary tale for those who seek forbidden knowledge. They continued deeper into the city, navigating through overgrown pathways and past crumbling structures. Maya documented everything: the layout of the city, the architecture, the remnants of pottery and tools she discovered. It was as if she was piecing together a shattered mirror, catching fleeting glimpses of a glorious past. As they approached the heart of the city, the air grew heavy with an oppressive, almost palpable presence. "This way," Ronan said, leading her towards a massive stone temple, its entrance swallowed by shadows. "But be on your guard. Legend says this temple is guarded by a creature of nightmares, a guardian of Eldoria's darkest secrets." Maya shivered, despite the oppressive heat. This was the heart of the Serpent's Kiss, a place where beauty and danger were entwined like the jungle vines themselves. As they moved deeper into the temple's shadowy depths, Ronan lit a torch, casting flickering shadows on the walls. Maya felt a chill crawl down her spine. The inscription on the city wall echoed in her mind: "Beware the Serpent's Kiss." The temple's interior was a labyrinth of corridors and chambers, adorned with unsettling frescoes depicting humans and serpents intertwined in both reverent worship and agonizing struggle. "What happened here?" Maya asked, her voice barely a whisper as she trailed a finger along the cold stone wall. "They made a pact with something ancient and powerful," Ronan said, his voice tight with a tension she'd never heard before. "They called it Ketsa, the feathered serpent, a creature of both creation and destruction." "Why?" "Power, knowledge," Ronan replied. "The Eldorians wanted immortality, but it came with a price. They bound their souls to Ketsa. It granted them longevity, but twisted them, turned them into something else." They emerged into a vast chamber. In the center, perched on a pedestal of intricately carved obsidian, was a golden serpent statue, its emerald eyes glittering in the flickering torchlight. The air hung heavy, thick, with a palpable sense of malevolence. As they drew closer, the air crackled with energy. The ground beneath them began to tremble, and from the shadows, a serpentine form uncoiled, its scales shimmering like liquid obsidian. It was a creature of nightmare, a monstrous python, its body thick as a tree trunk, its eyes glowing with a malevolent intelligence. The chamber echoed with its hiss, a chilling, primeval sound that seemed to vibrate in their very bones. "Protect the artifact," Ronan yelled, pushing Maya behind him. "It seeks to corrupt, to consume. Don't let it touch you." The serpent lunged, its jaws wide, revealing rows of razor-sharp teeth. Ronan moved with a speed that belied his size, his own blade flashing as he met the creature's attack head-on. Maya watched in horror as the monstrous snake fought with an almost human intelligence, its coils whipping through the air with deadly precision. She knew Ronan couldn't hold out forever. They needed to escape, to get help. Fear pulsed through Maya, a wild symphony of adrenaline and terror. But she wouldn't let fear cripple her. Ronan needed her, even if he hadn't realized it yet. As Ronan parried another deadly strike from the monstrous serpent, Maya saw her opportunity. She sprinted toward the golden statue, adrenaline lending speed to her limbs. If Ketsa's influence emanated from this artifact, perhaps she could disrupt it. Buy Ronan some time. As soon as her hand touched the serpent's cold golden scales, the air ignited with a surge of raw energy. A blinding white light engulfed the chamber. Maya screamed, dropping to her knees as images, chaotic and overwhelming, flooded her mind. Visions of the Eldorians, their pleas to the serpent god for eternal life, their descent into madness as their bargain twisted them. Then silence. When Maya finally opened her eyes, the chamber was silent. the air thick with ozone. The monstrous serpent had vanished, leaving Ronan standing over her, his face etched with concern. He knelt beside her. "Are you all right?" he asked, his voice gruff with worry. I saw everything," she said, her voice a breathless whisper. Their descent into. Ronan took her hand, his touch grounding her amidst a whirlwind of emotions. "They became slaves to their own desires," he said, his voice tinged with sadness. "The serpent's kiss offered them immortality, but at a terrible price." Their eyes met, and Maya realized the depths of knowledge in Ronan's gaze weren't fueled by simple curiosity like her own. There was a burden there, a deep understanding of the risks associated with Eldoria's magic. She saw a flicker of something else too, something she hadn't noticed before. Was it admiration? Respect? Maya smiled, realizing that for all the danger they had faced, she wasn't ready for this journey, for her time with Ronan to be over. "We make our own destiny," she said, her voice firm, echoing in the stillness of the ancient chamber. "No longer ruled by the shadows of the past," Ronan finished, a hint of a smile gracing his lips. Together, they stood, their hands still intertwined, their connection forged in the crucible of danger. They still had many secrets to unravel, more about Eldoria, and perhaps, most intriguingly, about each other. But for now, under the watchful gaze of the golden serpent, they shared a moment of fragile peace, a silent promise of adventures yet to come.